This is Praiseman's Daily Bread. My special guest is Pastor Varner from the Bible Way Fellowship Baptist Church. This week, our subject is single and saved. Pastor, let me ask you this. How does a Christian date?
Very selectively. And the reason that he needs to date very selectively, meaning that they don't date just anybody. Now that they're in the kingdom, they were outside the kingdom, and now God is considering them to be kings and queens. Well, kings and queens just don't date anybody, nor do they date the unsaved. So if you're going to date, you need to date someone for sure that is saved. But then the second thing is, when you date, you need to carry yourself in such a way that your conscience don't eat you up after the date. Meaning that you need to go with this in mind, and that is to have the right kind of thoughts, the right kind of conversation, and the right kind of behavior. And if you can hold on to those three, then at the end of the night, you're going to be able to thank God for a wonderful date.
How do you choose someone that you want to date?
The best way to choose someone, again, I want to use this word very carefully, and that is very carefully. That is, make the looks and their possession the last thing on your list as a criteria, like for dating.
Wait a minute. Say that part again.
I say, as a rule of thumb, don't look how they look. Don't look at what they own or what they drive or what they wear. Make that your last criteria on your list.
Okay.
What you need to look at is their character, to see how they treat others, see how he or she respect older people, to see are they always talking about themselves or are they always talking about others. And the main thing is, do they attend church?
What does a Christian do while they waiting for God to send them that person, that mate or whatever? How do they do? Because that's one of the complaints I get. They like, yeah, praise man, but look, it's Friday night and I'm alone. What do I do while I'm waiting? Well,
look here. One thing that you don't do is that you don't settle. You don't settle for what is not holy. Don't compromise your standard because you feel this sense of being desperate. But understand this, that God knows that you got God-given legitimate needs. But God wants you to meet those God-given legitimate needs in a God-given legitimate way. That is by making him the priority, making him the one you check with about everybody. Pray about everybody. Don't just date anybody. But while you are waiting for God to send you that right one, then you need to be developing your relationship with him. Because if you can get to know him, then you can know more about yourself and what you need to correct and while you're waiting for God to send a special one.
How do you prepare yourself for that mate that God is getting ready to send you?
As I said earlier, that you got to learn about God and learn what God's standard is. And I think the one that stands out would be the Proverbs 31 woman, because God put great emphasis on her, that when a man finds one like that, he's found a good thing. And I think every man is looking for a good thing. And so, on the other hand, every woman is looking for a good man. Mm-hmm. So I think God's got to set the standard, and if we look at his standard, then God will be the cement. He will be the one that would move us to where we need to be and where we need, and allow us to do what we need to do in such a way that it's a win-win for everybody.
How does a Christian approach another Christian that they have interest in?
I think that the approach has got to be that we've got human beings here, so it's no law that says I can't talk to you about anything and really not have any motive behind why I'm talking to you, but just a friendly conversation. Okay. And that friendly conversation will give you indications. Are they the one? Can this go any further? Is this just a conversation and we end it here?
Okay, Dr. Varner, last question. Should you date someone from your church?
And the answer is, and this is my final answer, is yes.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because the reason I say that is because you need to be able to watch this person up close and personal. You need to see them in all arenas, that you need to see if they really committed, committed like to Christ, or if they're not committed like to Christ. But now, if there is no one that God puts in your view in your church, then look for someone in another church. But you notice I'm not leaving church, because church will give you some indication of what this person is.
Uh-huh.
But especially if they're coming from a Bible teaching church.
Right.
That they get these biblical principles on the inside and then be able to practice these principles. And it should show up in their character and in their behavior.
Pastor, man, I'm telling you, I'm just my mind is just blown right now. I thank you so much. Bible Way Fellowship Baptist Church, where are you guys located?
10120 Hartsook Road, Houston, Texas.
All right, and the phone number over there is?
713-943-2215.
And the website?
BibleWay1.org.
I got it. Well, Pastor, thank you so much. And times of services on Sundays are when?
8 o'clock and 10:30.